to go on adventures. Hopefully you won't find yourself to be very busy, as the Very Busy Spider indicated in Eric Paul's book here. It's a time for relaxation, slowing down a little bit, opportunity to reflect, and you might be busy as a spider, but that'll be on your own choosing and not by the job that it dictates. The other thing that I think about Dr. Hoyle when I think about the Giving Tree, the famous book that probably all of us have read, and we continue to read to our children about the story that the Giving Tree talks about. Think about 31 years of education, of dedication, not just in education, but 31 years to the organization and all the lives that she has touched. If you haven't checked out these lovely flashbacks of your books, you definitely will start seeing some of the faces that she's touched and some of the hairstyles that she has rocked.
Thank you to whoever took our idea was to put that.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Thank you, Ms. Smith. I mean, thinking about not just at College Springs, and that was part of the reason that we also thought about having it here, is because this is where she started her career. And this is where this opportunity for her to end up her time with Lincoln County Schools, even though it's 30-something more days left, so you're not done yet. But she started here. She drove 50 minutes one way every day, twice a day. Was that 50 minutes from Cat Square? Not quite that long, but still, it's a long drive. And that dedication to coming here, giving of her time, giving of her resources, and giving of her knowledge, and giving of herself over the years. There's definitely another book that comes to mind, is I Can Read With My Eyes Shut. And if you know Sherry, there are certain things that she can put on autoplay and repeat without even thinking about it. She is known in our office as the editor, and there's multiple drafts, and she can edit with her eyes shut. But the other thing I thought about with this book.
Oh, they don't call me the editor.
That's a nice synonym for the editor. No, thinking about I Can Read With My Eyes Shut. And the other part of that is she does enjoy going to read to the kids. Elementary school, she would look forward to going and being the guest reader, the mystery reader for that class period. And definitely she had a list of her favorite books on her bookshelf in the office, and you've probably read many of those now to the point where you can read them with your eyes shut. But hopefully in these retirement days, you won't be like Alexander, and you won't have any horrible, terrible W days. Because as we all have had those in our jobs and in our life, hopefully this next step in your life those will be minimal at best. But you know, as Marvin Mooney says, will you please go now? Definitely don't go now. You got 30-something days left. But you know, thinking about all the places and the directions that you can go, you've made this choice, and this is your choice, and that's applaudable that you are going out the way you want to. But we all, come August, will say, oh no, Dr. Hoyle's missing, just like Ms. Nelson is missing. Come August, not July, but August is when we'll probably really realize it, that Dr. Hoyle will be missing after 31 years. With Lincoln County Schools. It's been a long time. So with that being said, I'm going to stop and turn it over to Dr. Boysworth, because she wanted to say a few words next, and I will open it up to Dr. Boysworth. Anyone who wants to share a few words about Doc, and it's kind of like, you know, circle of prayer at church. You've got somebody that's going to open up, and then Dr. Aker over here, Mr. Aker, is going to close us with a few words of Dr. Hoyle, and he will be our comedic relief, if nothing else, to bring out to stop the sappiness of this event. He'll make us laugh a little bit with some opportunities for reflection with Dr. Hoyle. Dr. Boysworth, though, first.
When you said my name, she backed up.
I'm back.
I guess because Sherry and I have known each other for so long, I came to Lincoln County 24 years ago, I believe, and I met Sherry in a class. We were taking a class together at UNC Charlotte. I don't even know if she remembers that. But later, when she came to the county office, we worked together. We had a great working relationship, and we worked with these two fine women over here that kept us straight most of the time. And we've had so many good times. I could stand up here and tell you stories ad nauseum, but I won't do that because everyone's got things to do this afternoon. But I do have a couple I want to share. One of the first times Sherry and I traveled together we went to a training to become trainers of mentors. And we went to Trinity Center, which is down on the coast. And if you know Sherry, you know that the beach is not necessarily her thing. But I convinced her one afternoon when we had about an hour of free time that we should walk over to the beach. We drove all the way there. Let's just go. So I've never seen someone dressed so much to go on the beach. There was no skin showing anywhere from head to toe. Nothing. I mean, I think you even had a hat on, so there was no seeing the beach. I don't know. We have some good stories about the beach. That was one. One of the other stories was the time I almost killed her. She thought she almost killed her. Well, this was from starvation. We were headed to a workshop that was a week long. Once again, it was at the beach. It was at North Myrtle Beach. And I decided to take a route I'd never taken before. And you know, it's where you go down and you go and you kind of bypass Florence. I didn't bypass Florence. Somehow I got caught on this loop driving around Florence. And we decided we better stop and ask for directions because we're kind of like those people who think we can find our way there. But we got out and we walked into this convenience store. We looked around, we looked at each other, and without saying a single word, we walked out the door and got back in the car. We knew we were on the wrong side of town and that we did not need to be in that convenience store. So then I pulled over at a peanut stand, which I think she thought was even worse. But for me, I thought it was safer than where we were before. But then she was starving, and she's over there rummaging in her purse. And what does she find? Orange Tic Tacs. So she's alive because of orange Tic Tacs today. That is the only reason. Jerry, we've had so many wonderful times together. And some of them, even though they seemed bad at the time, they were wonderful. I know CTB McGraw-Hill, in addition to the AIG plan, that brings back lots of wonderful memories for you. But CTB McGraw-Hill, when we first started doing local option tests, Sherry and I would be working on those tests and we'd get down to having the test almost perfected and that thing would crash and burn. And we would start all over again. I do remember being there one Sunday night when a tornado came through, not far from us. We've been in that building as late as 1:30 one night. My husband came over to keep us company because we were getting ready for workshops for the opening of school. And we both were preparing for our own. We've been so busy organizing everyone else, we hadn't prepared our own work. So we were there one night and it was really late and I finished. And I was tired, and I was ready to go home. And Sherry had one more thing to plan. And I'm like, no, Sherry, I can't stay. And I said, what is your workshop about? Can I help you with that? And she said, well, it's a content reading. I went, oh, I'm doing one of those. Here's my flash drive. Take it, please. We've got to get out of here. So we've had good times and bad times, but they've been wonderful times. And all I can say is that I've never worked for someone that cared so much about children as you care. And teachers, administrators as well. And working with you has been one of the best things that ever happened to me. And I wish you all the best.
Somebody else wants to speak, make her cry.
I'll say something and she won't cry about this. But it has been my pleasure to work with Sherry in many capacities. And I'm probably one of the dumbest principals that ever was in Lincoln County or anywhere else. Sherry interviewed with me whenever I was a principal, before she ever got a job, whenever she was fresh out of college. And I thought, she's never going to amount to anything. I'm not going to really a good judge of character. But I think that more than made up for it over the years. And seeing Bob reminds me, being on the school board, it was a tough decision, but I'll say till the day I die, you're the best superintendent that Lincoln County's ever had. What is the best thing about Sherry, in my opinion? She still has contact with students. Mm-hmm. You know, who in the world would have time enough to have contact with the kids even after she's superintendent? You know, and I will always honor and respect her for that, because she never lost sight of what the job was. And that's probably the most important thing. And I know that whenever I went to the county office, oh God, I had withdrawal from the kids. And I wasn't smart enough, like Sherry, to go keep that one-on-one relationship. And you'll be sorely missed, and it will be impossible to replace you. Love you.
If Ed was your dumbest principal in Lincoln County, perhaps I might be categorized as the smartest principal in Lincoln County, because I hired Sherry. You remember over 30 years ago sitting in the office up there and having an interview? Do you recall that? I do, to this day. And, you know, I didn't know Sherry. I encountered this sort of shy young woman. But as we talked about education and her beliefs in terms of working with children, I said, you know, there's something here. And I also noticed that there was a spark, there was an enthusiasm for working with children that I was looking for. And I said, you know, I think this young lady might go places. I think she might be good for kids. I think she might be good for the profession. And in retrospect, after watching Sherry go through several stages in her career, I couldn't keep her here. I tried to hold on to her as long as I could, but eventually she moved on. But in looking at that and thinking about where she started and things that she did here as a teacher, I thought, boy, did I ever underestimate this young woman's ability. She's been one of the finest educators I have ever known, and I hope you will continue in some capacity in this profession. Thank you.
Give those tissues to Sherry. Give them to Sherry. In case you need them.
Dr. Hoyle.
Okay, we can all leave now, right?
Dr. Hoyle, I know when Aaron said I would be closing up and had some possibly humorous remarks, I could see her look in her eye. Oh God, what is he going to say? But really, when Aaron asked me to talk a little bit today, I'll be honest with you, I have struggled on what to say about you. And what you've meant to our organization, what you've meant to kids, staff, our community. So I thought to myself, well, should I be humorous to try to make light of the moment, or should I be serious about the next phase in your life? And so I kept thinking, I thought, well, do I speak about, if I'm going to be humorous, me as a third-year transportation director? I get a call on a winter morning as I'm fixing to leave to go out and check roads to see if we're going to have school. And Dr. Hoyle's on the phone and says, I'm going to ride with you and see what you do. Never had that happen before. I said, okay, I'll come get you. I'll be there at this time. Pull up in the driveway, honk the horn. She comes bustling out. And I know I'm a little early, but the first thing when the door opens is she says, "You're early. You told me." I know, sorry. She gets in, and I'm trying to pay attention to what I'm doing as we're sliding all over the road in ice and snow, and I guess I got there too early for her to put her lipstick on. I'm paying attention to what I'm doing. You know how you have that overwhelming sense that somebody is just staring right through me. So I look over, and there she is with the visor and the little lighted mirror down, half the lipstick on here, just doing this at me. I knew from that look, I better pull that car over and stop and wait for further directions on when it was safe for me to proceed. Then I thought, well, maybe I could talk about the time that we were going to check a bus stop from a gentleman who had really been complaining about me. Not so much her, but just me. Seems to happen a lot sometimes. And as we go out to get in the truck, I get in and I shut the door and I'm ready to go. I look over and I hear her say, "Eric, turn your head. I'm going to have to hike my skirt up so I can get in this truck."
Oh boy.
When I was thinking about that this morning, I thought, I'm pretty sure I'll never hear another superintendent tell me that. And then also there was the time that I was standing behind her, and I don't think she realized, and of course she let a little bad word slip out. And I promise I've never told anybody that secret of what that word was. But then I thought, well, I need to say something serious maybe about Dr. Hoyle and what she's meant to the county. And so I thought I'll go back and look maybe at some of the things that might be in her personnel file for awards. Where's Heath Belcher? Is he got, oh, good, I'm safe. Y'all didn't hear me. I was going through the personnel file. So I found the first application that Sherry Hoyle submitted for Lincoln County Schools on December the 12th, 1985. And she is applying for a teaching position. And in looking at the application, I read through it. Before I get to the serious part, one thing that I found funny was extracurricular activities. Sewing. Racquetball. It's interesting. But the best question in reading through this that really just stood out to me, and it's really fitting for today, I think, is question number 14 on the application. And this is her handwritten response right here. In looking at question number 14, it basically says, why should we consider you for a position here in Lincoln County Schools? And here's her handwritten response. Being a native of Lincoln County Schools and a graduate of Lincoln County, or being a native of Lincoln County and a graduate of Lincoln County Schools, I have a special interest in the progress and well-being of our school district and our community. I would like the opportunity to contribute to Lincoln County Schools by playing an active role in developing the potential for our school district, our community, and their future. Well, Dr. Hoyle, 30 years later, you have lived up to your statement. And I don't think there's a person in this room that would not say that she has taken our school district and made it one of the best in the state. We will all miss you, but we congratulate you on your upcoming retirement.